The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you got to do, make it last.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 861 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ready to chat wrestling with you. First of all, my podcast compatriot, my podcast sexual life mate, Mad Mike.
Hi, Sorg.
I've been working on.
I love when you do the live updates for the episode number.
Yeah, see, I forgot to update it. It's definitely not that number.
It's pretty great. It's like 861 episodes without a point.
What?
Yeah, you know, like that sign where it's like how many days since last incident? We're 861 episodes since we made a point.
Oh yeah. Or like that one. I don't know if you get this up in your.
Because there's definitely been incidents, so it's not an incident.
Do you have that billboard with that has the running tally digital board of the national debt?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah. The national debt of clout of wrestling.
Can I give you the national emotional debt of the Wrestling Mayhem Show?
Yes. By the way, dear viewers, there people who are here for video. My background is going to be changing a lot over the next couple weeks. I'm in the middle of a move, so if you do not see my terrible towels hanging over me here, I don't support Pittsburgh any less.
Yep,
they're just packed away.
I'll have to figure out a new city to make an intro with here soon.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. Actually, I already I made a Foursquare check-in for the new house.
Foursquare, that's still a thing?
Yeah, sure, I use it. I Swarm, but I still use it.
Okay, Swarm. I get okay.
Yeah, so I called the new place Titan's Tower.
Fantastic. So I have to say live from, listen, I still miss when you came from Poughkeepsie, New York. You know what? We should stop doing this because we have a guest in the studio that's been waiting patiently this entire time. He is the man with Warr in his name, KC Warr. That's with 2 R's.
Yes, 2 R's.
Yes, it's on the T-shirt, so. Represent. So you know. We're not talking about Warr, though. He was on ages ago. He's busy.
Yeah, Mayhem bump, by the way.
Yeah, no, Mr. Mayhem Bump, holy shit,
seriously.
right? Man, he liked the show so much. We love you, Wardlow. But anyways, no, Casey Warr is with you. I see him frequently on Thursday nights. T2T Wrestling, Pittsburgh Wrestling Academy. I don't think I got all the words in the right order.
Close enough.
880 Wrestling. I'm saying all the things right I usually screw up on Thursday nights. So I literally just fixed it on PittsburghWrestling.com and said 808. I was like, what am I doing? Toddy called me out again last week about it. But anyways, no, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
We've been talking video production war stories.
Yes. Yes. Deep in the trenches of production.
Yes. Can we talk about your production backstory later in the show?
Of course.
That one story you told me about who you have heat with?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you that before the show.
Yeah, no, that's totally cool.
Good,
I'm not expecting them to come back after me for it.
Oh, good. Well, wait, so that's your teaser for later when we get to the interview segment. Who in what industry that's not wrestling has heat with Casey Warr? And will that come around?
For the Casey Warr upcoming heat check.
That's right. Heat check. All right.
Check.
That usually doesn't come until later in the show, when I don't give a fuck and want to tell you what I think about pro wrestling in the area. But anyways,
It usually comes about 2 boops into the show.
two boops and a bop into the show.
Official
Who are you,
units of
Tyler
measure.
Bate?
Thank you. I was trying to place who we got that from. Anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com and get us up at the email address. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And I don't have my notes because I pulled up the Mayhem Wed game instead of the Mayhem Show
Excellent.
document. You can also catch us on Twitter at Mayhem Show, at Mayhem Show, at SorgatronMedia.social on the Mastodon.
Where it's always Vader time.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure you got that in.
I do love that bit.
We're on Reddit, as well as we have a Discord that's linked from WrestlingMayhemShow.com that you can join and converse with us. A little bit more action happening over there these days, so I do encourage you, if you're a Discorder, if that's where you'd like to do your communicating, you can do that there. And there's less spammy Angelina Jolie has died stuff going on over there, because I've deleted like 20 of those in the last couple of weeks. Sorry about that.
By the way, as far as we know, she's okay.
I'm sure. I think she has a movie coming out. But anyways. Where are we at with this? Yes, we're there. We're here at about 10 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday night after the NXT rollover. Programming note, we will not be live on the Tuesday after Memorial Day. And I'm letting Mike know about that now, as I realize. So, because, well, Mike, I have a good reason.
Okay.
Thank you to the Carlins for the hookup. I will
Oh,
be visiting Las Vegas for reasons.
God.
Nothing
so
or
the
doubles.
Sorg is going to Sorg will never be returning to us from Las Vegas, and 2 weeks will be the last episode of the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Why do you think I've been to Vegas before? I survived last time, and I was in the desert at 115 degree heat.
Very, very few survive twice, Sorg.
Okay, I expect to go everywhere with air conditioning this time. I'm not working this time. Okay, this is a funcation. Okay,
It's a funcation.
fully funcation, no work, which unfortunately means no Mayhem Show for that week. And then after that is the special, usually awkward, I broadcast from a hotel room in Ann Arbor week.
Ooh, I love hotel room week.
Well, hotel room week. It's our own holiday, isn't it?
It really is. So when you're broadcasting from a hotel, I may be. Oh, this is good. So I'm moving Memorial Day weekend.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
actually
So you need a
have-
breather, anyways. You got to set up the studio. You got a week
You
off.
ain't just whistling Dixie, Sorg.
I don't even know the tune.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyways, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. You guys can support the show and find conversations like this. Including our friends at the fan show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as Ed Burke, Team Hammerfist, and Bobby F. J-Town, and at the Poppy Club level, Dave Prof Pov Pod. Oh, crap, I didn't put it in here yet. Prof Pov Podner of Ruth Oh, no. It's in the other document. Well, while I'm getting that, Rats in the Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid is one of the supporters on that level. And also is Dave Profpod Ponder, clipper of all things Sorg, I'll throw in there. And also spouse of Ruth's Jewelry Affair at ruthsjewelryaffair.com. I'm putting this in the doc now so that I don't forget it next week as well, because that's like 2 weeks in a row I've done this. And also at the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, and the Riz and the Mantra level, Bradley, who hung out with me at Dave & Buster's last week. And there's a video on my TikTok at Sorgatron of the man who's held on to 13,000 Dave & Buster's tickets for the last 10 years.
Okay.
Because apparently, before he discovered professional wrestling in the area, he went every Saturday night to Dave & Buster's.
Okay. All right. I want to talk about this.
Okay.
I saw you post this last week.
Yes.
All offense to Bradley, those are rookie fucking numbers.
Oh, no. But
Those are rookie numbers.
But the point was, he's walking around with this. He's got walking around tickets, and he could buy, like, almost anything. Like, he could buy individually 90% of the Dave & Buster's room.
Sorg, do you know what I could buy at my Dave & Buster's in Times Square right now, and I almost did? I can get a slushing machine and a Ring doorbell.
Jeez.
That's not a joke. I almost bought both of those things.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well,
yeah.
And
Plus, and I'm just... This is just a heads up for everyone who frequents a Dave & Buster's. Saturday is not the day to go. You go on Wednesday.
Yes.
All games are half price.
Yes.
So instead of watching Dynamite, go to Dave & Buster's.
That's honestly what I'm going to start doing, because I'm going to start seeing my movies on Wednesdays. Wednesday's going to be the Sorg recovery day from now on.
Excellent.
When I'm not traveling, which I am for the next 3 out of 4 weekends. Actually, 4 out of 5 weekends on Wednesdays. But anyways, yeah, no. So I want to go see a movie in a Dolby theater and then spend time before and or after and play some Mario Kart arcade down there and skee ball and stuff. There's a big nods happening from the couch right now.
Oh, big time arcade fan. Just love that. I mean, separate from Dave & Buster's, but love that Pins Mechanical opened up in Pittsburgh.
Yes!
My fiance and I go to Cleveland all the time.
Uh-huh.
Don't tell Team Pittsburgh or Steel City Killers that. But we would frequent.
I'm going for Aerosmith in a few months. Don't worry about it.
Oh man. But no, we absolutely love arcade games, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it is just a complete blast. I mean, we could waste hours and lose complete days in there.
And I haven't Dave & Buster's. It's actually, they got some fun stuff in there now.
Oh, yeah.
And that the card is on the app and you just like phone it, like, is real nice and real dangerous.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what put me over, because we just like wandered. We had like time, because we did 4 movies in 2 days, because I had a weekend home, and we missed so much. So we saw like John Wick, Dungeons and Dragons, Renfield, and Air. Okay. I get 3 movies a week on AMC A-list, so we paid for the 4th. She set this whole thing up. We had like 3 hours in between. It was like a movie layover. So we're like, well, we ate. Well, I guess we'll go to Dave & Buster's. We haven't done that in like 5 years. And we're like, hey, we should do this more often, especially on Wednesdays, right?
It's a good time.
It's nice. You know, this is supposedly a wrestling podcast.
So wait, before we get to the wrestling, here's a quick get to know you question for our new guest.
Okay.
What arcade cabinet, if you could only pick one, would you choose to have in your house for free?
I currently have a Ms. Pac-Man that I
well,
bought.
shit.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Bought it a couple years ago, refurbished it, put it back together, got it in working condition. But my fiance will love this answer. Rampage. That is one of the games that we bonded over and met the creator of at Replay FX. Rest in peace.
Oh my god, I miss Replay FX.
Yeah, Brian Collins. He was one of the game designers for it. Super nice guy.
I did not know that we had. I guess we did. Yeah, because they had sessions, I guess, or something, right?
Yep, yeah.
I was usually busy doing production at the music stage.
Oh. Love seeing like Triforce Quartet and like a bunch of like Bit Brigade.
Brigade.
I love Bit Brigade. Yes.
Oh my god, it is. I mean, you've been I think most of you guys have these barcades where you pay like like $10, $20. So you can pay. Imagine an entire convention floor of arcade games, and then there's live music, and then there's big gaming going on. Our friends at Looking for Group, we've talked about them on Awesome Cast. We're big on that production side of things, and we got to be a part of that. It's so much fun. It is probably the most massive production I've been a part of.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was the stuff we were pulling off was like, we can do this, and this is why we run certain stuff we do in the studio now, because of what I learned from that.
Excellent.
Yes,
Awesome.
I'm sorry, this is turning into a tech podcast. We were literally running 4 streams on Twitch. Not we, like I had one. I was just the producer at the music stage, but like it was all networked, and so there was like the music, the pinball, and the main competition stage, and then like another like commentary. And then I learned that with this one software that we use for the show, I'm using it right now over here with the graphics and everything. You can take all the cameras and pull them over the network.
Oh.
So they could literally pull a camera or my feed.
Yeah.
And pull that into this other production, like independently, and I wouldn't even know what's happening.
Is it like Dante for video?
It's NDI.
Okay.
And it's literally how Mike is seeing this production right now on Zoom.
Nice.
So
There we go.
it's literally what we're using for Zoom. Or if you've seen Top Rope Tabletop, I have this iPhone with an app on it, and that's how we get the game board over top, is because I just have this iPhone 8 Plus on a tripod, and it's just over the network since nobody's talking, so I'm not worried about frame rates. I used to kind of see pieces and where they move them, so anyways, so maybe we should talk about wrestling. I don't know.
Sure, why not?
I haven't looked at the chat room to see if they're bored yet. So
no. Tia's asking if it's similar to PAX West.
No. Well, so I don't. So to my knowledge, PAX West is more like a presenter thing, right? They probably have arcade sections, but
yeah, I think that's more like a Comic-Con but for video games. Right?
Yeah. This is more just like the big draw of this is the games. The biggest thing, and the local pinball section has their competition there. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was a stop for.
So it's like a WrestleCon for video games.
Kind of, yes. Well, no, because even that's more exhibition than anything. I feel like there's the shows, but this is like no, it's just a giant arcade, the biggest arcade that I've ever seen, and just curated things. It was a nonprofit that ran it. I think they've mostly folded after COVID, though.
It was my understanding they sold a lot of the arcade machines.
I got to visit a couple of times their headquarters in Carnegie, because we have friends. Actually, it's Katie's fault. So, because Katie knows everybody, that's cool in Pittsburgh. So, Dutters, for those that don't know. So, and side note, Top Rope Tabletop, Dutters debuted in D&D. I believe she was an orc with a top hat and no pants.
That sounds accurate.
Yes, it was the best. So go check that out. That's at IndieWrestling.network for free. Session 9, Campaign 2, Session 9, if you're looking that up on there or YouTube. So we should attempt to talk about wrestling. AEW had a cage match last week. That man, I was tired when I watched this thing, but I was like, did they really just go through the cage? Did Kenny really just catch his leg in the ring? Did he really just use a screwdriver on his face? Is Daniel Bryan cackling at blood? Yes, all those things are true. All those things did happen Wednesday night, apparently. And
I thought Kenny destroyed his knee. I thought his knee was just done.
I saw reports of being banged up, but I didn't see anything more inconclusive from that. No indications. I did watch BTE today. They did not reference anything. There's actually a lot of really interesting references about destroying a phone bits in there. So, but yeah, that was a hell of a fucking cage match.
It was
Damn
wild.
it. But you got Moxley and Kenny. So what like the cage break spot was the surprising part for sure.
Just seeing Kenny just go through the cage and just hanging out there, just like his legs between this, like the area, just like, I can't believe he didn't get snagged. Nothing like that. Like walking away from that spot, just unreal. Like it just looks so gnarly. It was the last thing I had on my bingo card, seeing John Moxley go through the cage to the outside. Like it was just a wild match.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, and generally very good show, very fun show. I liked. I'm curious, Mike, what was your opinion of was it House Rules match with the House of Black?
Yeah. Okay. It's fine. It's something different. I wish we had gotten a bit of a build up for it.
Yeah, I know.
And not House of Black just gone for like almost a month, and then they get 1 2-minute vignette saying, "We're the House of Black."
It felt like they were. It feels like they.
Spooky fingers.
It was like they're feeling it out, like the entire process. So like having the best friends in there is like a very comedic. Like the guys can work. You know? There's just
and Bandito.
Oh my gosh, just unreal. Like just a strange combination, but you just love it. But just it was hilarious how I think it was Trent trying to think of the rule and just like, oh, no spooky witches out there. Like I was really expecting like, okay, can we throw in like a cool stipulation, like something to just start off hot out of the gate, but just like, oh well, that really doesn't add anything to the match.
I have I'm going to throw a little bit of booking shade here. For those that know, but like when you have a championship stipulation, something where you can pick the rule, it usually ends up the lamest rule ever.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, not necessarily. Ravens rules.
Yes.
Back in WCW was the shit.
Ravens rules, which just meant no DQ, right?
And Falls Count Anywhere, I think, right?
And Ron Mathis is doing the same thing, this very thing in Rise, where again, that means this is going to go everywhere, which means you're going to have. Thank you, Chris LaRusso, for protecting my equipment during Rise shows. By the way, I was sent pictures of him in action this last show. I think he was protecting the camera, despite there was nobody ever near the camera this time, but just in case, because I think they ended up on the commentary table last month. And his opponent was PB Smooth, so that's a big guy to be thrown around, quote unquote. But anyways, yeah, it's so. But I'm just saying the whole like we're gonna pick the stipulation, and it just ends up being you'll be disqualified if you get thrown over the top rope. You know, it just like come on.
It's
man.
WCW rules.
It is WCW. Yeah, but what was that? But it's always like the lamest heelish, kind of thing. You can't do any top rope moves or something like that, or something.
Yeah, but see, like this would work if you didn't have like Buddy Matthews and Aleister Black go off the top rope all the time.
Yeah, but that's not one of the rules, right? I mean, for this one,
I know,
okay. So the one where there's like a rules lottery kind of night, lethal lottery kind of spin the wheel. What's your stipulation? 2PW did one time. They had Johnny Patch, who is known for doing like a shooting star whatever off the top rope kind of thing that went viral, I think, and then Super Hentai, and then they had them do a no top rope moves match.
Okay.
Right, or
that's fun.
Or maybe the finish had to be off the top rope,
that's even funner.
But then they made it the second rope because there was a low drop ceiling. So, yeah, that's right, because it was an aerial assault match. So my thinking is backwards here. So yeah, it's like you have to do a move off of the check the height second rope to finish the show, to finish the match. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, they can get weird, but you can be inventive with it. But there's so many. It's also like the fourth rule. I also don't hate the idea. I love the look. I love the blackout they did for the crowd. It felt very old 80s MSG tape, WWF tape to me a little bit, but without the big Budweiser in the corner. But you all know what I'm talking about of a certain age, right?
Yep.
But anyways, no, I thought that was a fun thing, and
I just hope they actually utilize it a bit more because. Mm-hmm. Ever since the House of Black won the Trios titles, it feels like they've disappeared from TV.
Yeah.
Mike, I know something you could be excited about. The return of Miro having a meeting.
Was it open door night in Tony Khan's
office?
office?
It was fairly open door night.
I swear, if this is because Miro can tolerate CM Punk and he's just going to that Saturday show, I'm going to be very upset.
I don't know. Maybe he's a buddy. I don't know.
That's why Thunder Rosa came back too.
Is it? Oh, is that it? Is it the CM Punk show? Is it?
I'm assuming anyone that came back is like, "What do you think, Phil?" against these guys.
It's all the Phil Buddy show. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, until Phil pisses him off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was actually thinking about this, and hypothetically, and there's a big announcement Tina reminds me of in the chat room tomorrow, which hypothetically could be this potentially big announcement for maybe $1 billion deal with Warner Media,
and which also hypothetically could be called the Second Coming. Like he's fucking Jesus
which could
or
be this
something.
new show and everything, right? Which could be this thing with CM Punk. And I have thoughts about the supposed $1 billion deal. But when it comes to CM Punk, I was really kind of listen. I had about 4 hours in a car alone, traversing across Western Pennsylvania this past Saturday, so I had a lot of thinking to do, and I had a lot of wrestling themes, including CM Punk's, that come up in my playlist as I'm thinking about things. And I thought about listen. I will make no bones about Phil, probably a fucking asshole, okay? Probably, but also half the wrestlers you like are probably fucking assholes. I know most of the ones I liked when I was a kid are fucking assholes, except for Roddy Piper. He's a gentleman. We miss you, Roddy.
Roddy Piper was a gentle soul.
Fucking angel, and Mick Foley, fucking gentleman. Thunder Rosa, Mama Thunder. Mama Rosa, always got that vibe. But anyways, other than them, everybody else probably a fucking asshole. Okay. But
don't meet your heroes.
What was my point? What was my point? What was the point?
Phil.
CM Punk. But if CM Punk goes out there and does CM Punk things on camera, I'm fucking in. I'm fucking because whatever you think about Phil the person, CM Punk the performer. I think we had this similar conversation about Logan Paul last week. He is going to get in there. He's going to say his piece, and I'm going to get the wrestle chills, and I'm going to be DVRing on Saturday night because I'm fucking busy. That's also wild to put a show on Saturday night. I'm sure that's a TNT
because
stipulation.
it's a TBS thing because it's a Superstation. Sword.
Right. Oh, if this is on 605,
it's going to be on 605.
605 Live. Is that what's going to be?
Because this whole company is WCW.
I don't think so. So.
Okay, it's Impact in the 90s.
It's better managed WCW.
So far.
It's departed from it. TNT isn't stealing all the pay-per-view money.
I'll say I'll give it better managed once they stop streaming their pay-per-views on fucking Bleacher Report.
Well, that's okay because you know what hold on. Thoughts on Casey? What are your thoughts of CM Punk? You don't have to call him a fucking asshole like I did because you work in the business. But
I'm the polar opposite. I'm a massive CM Punk guy.
Yeah,
he is the reason why I got back into wrestling, and also a large part of the reason why I got my fiance into wrestling as well. And just going into training myself, I grew up watching him for years, and just hearing that he was coming back after this hiatus, it got me on the AEW train and just started the entire journey.
It was great. Like fucking that first night back at Chicago.
Yeah,
was fucking magic.
Oh yeah,
I've never experienced something like that.
I literally just watched it back again on Saturday.
Yeah. I will always have I will get the same wrestle chills watching that back as watching Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant. You're like, it doesn't matter,
Yep.
No, I don't know if he's good for backstage. That's for somebody else to figure out. But he is going to be good for ratings. He's going to be good for fandom. So
he's a draw.
I mean,
when there's money, and Mike, I keep positing
it's going to be hard to get ratings on a Saturday night.
Well, that's gonna. We'll see. Somebody at TNT, TBS thinks they are.
Challenge accepted. It sounds
like. What do you think the goals are? What do you think the goals are for a Saturday night show? It's not the same as Wednesday. It's not the same as Wednesday. We're not TV execs, right?
It's got to be higher, I would imagine.
Higher than
Dynamite.
I don't think it's gonna be higher than Dynamite.
Ooh.
I don't think you're.
I don't think it's going to be. I think the expectations are.
I'm
telling you, when college football hits,
sure,
those ratings are going to tank.
But still, yes, a tank. But if somebody that knows TV ratings, where's Matt Carlins, can go at this, and again, I just posted the Zeke Mercer clip where he said, "Let's stop the ratings obsessions." I still posit that anything that TNT or that AEW is doing, regardless of these wrestle sheet posts about how, oh man, they're down 200,000 people. You know, still on their lowest night is probably better than the majority of cable programming.
Yeah, probably not better than Big Bang Theory reruns though.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
the worst show on TV.
Literally, what did I tell you? What did I tell you just a few weeks ago that the Sinclair station local guy told me was Ring of Honor television syndicated on our local Sinclair-owned whatever station was the best ratings they got, you know, in their random-ass time slots, 4 and 2 a.m. and 4 p.m. and some other time on Sunday. The only thing that does better than that was Friends reruns.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Right?
that's-
Right? Like, that's
yeah.
the thing. But you still don't mind second place because that's another big thing because you only have so many friends. You only have so many Big
No,
Bangs.
I won't. Sorg, you can never have too many Big Bangs. First of all. Secondly, I want to be good. I hope the show works. I am wary of it
Mhm.
because if it's just a show that's there to keep CM Punk apart from the elite,
That is not the
because-
only goal. They can't write a Disney plan. You can't write a business plan on CM Punk's happiness.
You sure as shit can if that's what Warner's wants. If Warner's wants CM Punk on their show, then guess what? You have to write a business plan for CM Punk's happiness.
But with the size of the roster that they have and the addition of doing like the house shows that Jeff Jarrett's been booking, like, do you want a 2-hour Rampage?
Wait,
do you want another show?
Jarrett's been booking the house shows?
Apparently.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, he's
The cockroach of wrestling.
I,
Never going
I
away.
will- Mike, I'm gonna get Joe Dabrowski on here and to try to sell you on Jeff Jarrett.
Nope. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. People have been trying to sell me on Jeff Jarrett for decades.
I know.
It's never gonna happen.
'Cause you've
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Stop
trying to make Slapnuts happen.
FETTCH.
At least my understanding, like with his hiring, was bringing in the live production experience that he did with WWE and just expanding in smaller markets that they're not running as often and just expanding the territory, I guess. I mean, I don't know that side of the business, but it tracks in my
I want to
opinion.
point out I just wrote down 3 show title options in the last 5 minutes. So all right, Warner deal, and then we'll move on. Supposedly, we'll find out tomorrow. If you're listening to the podcast, maybe it's already been announced. Who knows? But I'm gonna throw my wild speculation out there. Anyways, I don't give a fuck. So I think the number is it's supposedly going to be $1 billion deal. May affect the pay-per-views, this, that, and the other thing. I also watch a lot of the tech landscape news too, which I usually bring in when we're talking about these things. And my prediction at 10:47 p.m. Eastern time here on Tuesday night on the 16th. Note. We'll see. Is that, and I don't know if it all comes out in the announcement tomorrow, but I would imagine that AEW will. I think this is when we finally marry AEW to Max, formerly
God,
HBO
I fucking
Max.
hope so.
And
I fucking hope so.
I feel like, you know what I wouldn't mind?
Not using a VPN to go to the back catalog of E AEW.
All that matters is fight gets my money, and I like those guys. So, what was I getting at? But I would not mind. I would forego my temporarily relocating to the United Kingdom every 3 months. Physically, obviously, taking a tunnel, a shuttle, if you will, a channel, if you will.
Yeah.
Stealing this from another podcast that I literally listened to today. To the
You're
United
going
Kingdom.
to your friend Justin's house in the UK.
Yeah. We're visiting Vim in the UK. He doesn't know it yet. But I would pay full price American dollars for a pay-per-view of AEW on Max.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Streaming needs to happen.
I would do it.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
I think no.
Why not?
What's to lose?
You have to do a really hard sell for me to get me to pay $60 for any pay-per-view.
Okay. Other than that,
any-
and I think it's 50.
No, but
50,
no,
yeah.
but that's the thing.
Also, if I'm buying a
that's the
pay-per-view, and again, this is me versus you. If I'm buying the pay-per-view, I got at least 4 people here watching it. So, like, that's not.
Yeah, so you're
that's
not
not
paying
terrible.
the full 60.
I don't mind that.
I have no friends up here. I watch it by myself.
Or do we peacock this thing, and all the pay-per-views become part of Max?
That's the money. That's the money.
Because
right there,
Peacock, WWE, year after year, has been saying more people will watch. The gate's bigger. Boom, boom, boom. Like, you can't tell me Warner Brothers Discovery isn't looking at that and says,
You make it more accessible, more people are going to watch it.
yeah, and you have a company that's already nearing a sellout of 70,000 people at Wembley Stadium without a match announced in a country they've never been before, and only have TV rights there. I don't even know how they do the TV rights there. It's on a channel like I think they. I was reading this that they broke it down that it's live on Fight, but then they broadcast it like 2 or 3 days
BBC,
later.
Sky or something.
Yeah,
like that.
on Sky or something like that. Because I think WWE's on BT Sports now.
Yeah.
So that's all they've had, and they just sold out. They're doing insane numbers at Wembley, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and the numbers at Wembley are fantastic.
Yeah, and imagine what
You're
happens.
absolutely like kudos. That's amazing.
And then imagine what happens when you move that model for AEW to a Peacock platform idea, right? I mean,
the only thing is that Max hasn't been shown to be able to do live streaming yet. But then again, neither had Peacock. So
no, yeah, exactly.
And Peacock just did the Olympics.
Who?
So,
and I don't think they have a lot of sports on Max yet. They don't have live sports on Max. I thought they were starting to.
I don't think so.
Where's TNT? TNT Sports just are they streamed anywhere?
I've used their app.
TNT.com.
Just the app. So
yeah.
I mean,
TNT.com.
So
That's
so
the
they
only place
they can do live streaming. Like
Yep.
in the Warner Brothers Discovery ecosystem, there is live streaming that exists, right, Mike? And they've already
Yes, it's not good.
Okay.
I've tried to watch a hockey game on TNT.com. It is not stellar.
Well, even still, like for hockey in general, like going to like ESPN Plus and changing their entire live streaming deal and moving away from their previous, what was it, NBC, I believe?
Yeah.
So that's been in flux the entire year. It's just been god awful to even go there.
Oh,
But
really? I love ESPN Plus.
I've had a bad experience with it.
Yeah,
My knowledge
I
varies.
always hear about people having HBO Max bad experiences, and I've had no issues with the HBO Max since they've gone Max.
Yeah.
Like HBO, I had problems with,
Yep.
or HBO Go, or now, or whichever one I had. That was attached to. I don't know. It was weird the way I had it through like AT&T Cellular / DirecTV for some reason. I don't know. But anyways, it was free. Whatever. I haven't paid for HBO.
Tina says that she'll continue to see AEW in a theater where she's only paying half the full price.
That's a cool concept.
Also, yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
like that concept.
Oh, I've done
Yeah.
it before, but the problem is the theater is running from Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
And like
Yep.
the theater I
Well-
went to last time, they had trouble getting the feed up, and
Yep.
we missed like the first 5 minutes of the
And
match.
the same thing
sucks.
happened to me when I went to TNA lockdown in the theater at the Cinemark.
Yep.
So yeah, not
That's the
without
thing.
its problems.
Like the theater experience for AEW is very cool. I was just telling
Yep.
a buddy today, that's how you watch AEW
Mhm.
because the shows run like 4 hours.
With friends,
you
you
get
don't
your
have to
lar-
split a pizza with.
You get
Yeah.
your large popcorn, you get your large Coke, and you have your free refills. Bada bing, bada boom. You're all set for the evening.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
But yeah, I hope the pay-per-views come to Max. I really hope that because it'd be nice to actually be able to watch some of AEW's back catalog.
Yeah. It was
Because right now, at least as far as I know, they don't even have a DVD deal for their old paper.
no,
right?
because who's gonna buy DVDs? Like what?
You'd
I
be
mean,
surprised.
I mean, a company with a DVD production would be insane this day.
Sorg.
And
Sorg,
speaking of
WWE
DVDs,
still-
you can get
No,
DVDs of
WWE
all the
still
local
makes
shows
DVDs.
at indiewrestling.us, indiewrestling.network if you are with us in this decade. But no, sorry, I had to run into a segue on that one.
I was trying to make a point.
I
There are people that have there are low streaming areas.
Yeah. I know.
Buy DVDs.
And that's why we serve them in West Newton, Pennsylvania, and Uniontown, Pennsylvania, and at IndieWrestling.us table.
Yes, exactly. Not table.
Sorry, that's an old Colt Cabana bit. Oh, Mike is so broken right now.
Oh,
Mike, read the Chiron. Take us home.
join IndieWrestling.us network at www.indiewrestling.network.
Thank you. Thank you. Literally uploading right now is RWA's No Retreat from this last Saturday, where I lost a videographer.
Have you found them yet?
No, they disappeared, and there's a picture of them in the back, and I shared it. I was like looking for new videographers because mine keep joining the mafia.
Sword, do you want me to see if I can find you some connections? Tony D, the Don of NXT?
I don't know about that. I think they're having
He
restaurants.
can rescue your videographer.
I was not watching directly. Did the FBI show up at that restaurant tonight?
I mean, Sword, there is no such thing as the FBI.
Oh, that's
I don't know
right.
what you're talking
Oh, that's right. Then, yeah, Nunzio don't work no more. Anyways, shit. Casey Warr is with us. A baby in wrestling years, months. Debuted in January, and thankfully, about 80% of his career is now on YouTube.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Spoiled. Like, that's unreal. Unheard of for people debuting this early.
Yes.
Having this much footage.
Well, I guess, I don't want to do the whole like train. I try not to do the wrestling interview as much anymore. But you are a train, and there is a very cool school out there run by MV Young, out in New Kensington, at Dottie Block at 880. It's in the name. It's easy to find. But I've been really fascinated and so pleased. We MV and I have been talking about producing something out of this and serving both of our needs, because again, he's got a school and wants to give you guys reps, and I need new videographers and want to give them reps. So it kind of came together with the perfect thing. It was these Thursday night fights, and they're live streaming. If you haven't heard me tweet them every freaking week on our Twitch, on our YouTube, IndieWrestling.us on the network. And it's been cool because there is a bit of a following that is watching it week to week, and there are definitely friends of the show that are involved. We were talking before the show about Christian Warr, David Lawless, Brohemoth, a part of it, and of course MV himself. So it's been I've never seen anything like it, to be quite honest, what we're doing. But I guess like the first thing is like, and God, I hate I'm going in this question line. How did you find wrestling, man?
Oh man, specifically 880 or?
Yeah, yes and yes.
Okay. I would say it probably started in April of last year. I discovered Enjoy. And so I wanted to go to a show. I didn't really have any friends that watched wrestling at the time. My fiance was at a bachelorette party for my sister-in-law, and I was going to go. I was going to go by myself, but ended up just chickening out because I didn't want to be that guy going by myself. But
I want to point out I'm the guy going by myself to enjoy shows.
Now it's accepted. Like I have no shame whatsoever. I'm like, I'm going to do this thing. It's going to be fun, whatever. I'm going to have a good time and make some new friends. But discovered Enjoy that way, started watching on YouTube religiously, and then I can't remember where I saw the article on Facebook. If someone sent it to me or if Allison sent it to me, it was about the barbecue at Voodoo.
Oh, God.
And so
God, that's right. oh no. Oh,
that was a day. That
oh
was
my God.
That was a whole day.
That is my worst production day ever.
And that was my our first local indie show. I think I'll call it. Or no. I skipped. So we knew Enjoy. We went to IWC to see TME and the Hardys. That was an amazing match. Like, just watching that, just like fully expected, like, okay, Jeff just came back. I'm learning a lot about our local indies and everything there. It's like, oh yeah, TME, these local guys are probably gonna get squashed by the Hardys. Me being absolutely absent-minded and not knowing anything in the area over the last like 10 years. And just like, I was blown away. Like, we immediately recognized Gannon and Duke, and just like, these guys are unreal. And so fast forward back to the barbecue, saw that Gannon was attached to the school with MV, and just doing some like internet creeping and stuff like, oh, this is gonna be really cool. Like, oh yeah, we saw these guys a couple months ago. I mean, it's 15 minutes from my house, so let's go check out the barbecue, see what it's about. And the class was maybe 2 weeks later, something like that, and just dropped in and was like, yeah, this is a new way to work out, something fun, something new. And here I am today, like 20 matches in, 6 months into wrestling,
Working like 4 companies, I think, at this point, something like that. We're talking about
unreal.
Yeah,
I blinked. Like none of this feels real to me whatsoever.
And that's and we talked about schools a bit last like that's one thing I say impressive is he's doing so many shows down there, a lot of community events, kind of atypical things we can say when it comes to pro wrestling. But it's very cool to be working with you guys, and it's like, oh god, these guys are green. I don't know how good this is going to be. Honestly, right?
Yeah,
like you're like, it's a training thing. I don't expect the world out of this. Like I know what we're getting out of this, right? But I can say from you guys that are regular there, and some people that are become part of it that have been around for a little bit and just need that refresher. Like that's been really cool to watch people grow week to week and not month to month. Because I don't know anybody else that provides that. Like maybe you were having classes and student shows and everything like in a locker, not a locker, but like in a fucking behind closed doors somewhere, right? But you get out there every week. And maybe a small crowd, but a crowd, you get reactions. And we talked, I can't remember if I mentioned this last week, but like we work with some promotions that were just kind of like trying to get reps for younger guys that weren't getting it. And none of them knew how to work a crowd. Half the show was dead. And it was a real big problem. And then like seeing you guys go and do a pre-show match somewhere in West Virginia and realize like, oh wow, the crowd's actually getting into this is pretty astonishing.
Yeah, I mean it's mind-blowing. Like so the way we're running now with Fridays on 5th, last Friday of the month.
It mentioned that Fridays on 5th is like a New Ken community thing. There's food trucks and everything. So.
They closed down 5th Ave.
Yeah.
All the businesses are out. There's a bunch of food trucks, bunch of vendors. Everyone's hanging out. So it's a really, really awesome community event. We have bands playing in the space, and then we get to our shenanigans throughout the night.
Yeah,
so
it's really cool, and it was like I was trying to wrap my head around how do we produce this too. It was like, I guess we're filming bands tonight.
It was cool.
It was very cool. Like I can't wait for the next go at it now that I know how those run. But it's a very cool experiment. It's something that's and I've also said this. It's something that's very different than every other show we film. The space is different. It's got that feel like when I did the Polyam Cult party in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I want to say New York, but because I'm going to Brooklyn, Michigan this week. But like it's got that vibe, and that's really cool that that's being brought to Pittsburgh.
It's the punk rock DIY.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like it's unreal. It's so cool.
It's very, very cool. So obviously you're joining us because you're actually on the mend right now.
Yes.
So you want to talk a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah. Shops and Suplexes. I believe it was Saturday, May 6th, if I'm getting my dates.
And that's
correct.
our friend Toddy put that together.
Toddy Tondera, very good friend Toddy. Yeah. I was booked against Delightful Dan, the goddamn Candyman.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Can I mention I'm doing like Circle 6 and everything out there in LA Mania week, and then like there's him in his Enjoy jacket.
Yeah.
In LA.
Yeah.
Like that blew my mind. As I had to get a picture with him when I saw him at Murder Mania.
That's what's up. That's so cool. So yeah, during the match, just getting things started, and one of the moves that I do is just like the classic RVD shoulder roll. And just my momentum stopped at like the apex on top of his back, and I just fell sideways in the worst possible way and just landed on my left ankle, and it just went inward.
Oh.
And I tried to like kind of stand up, put weight on it, and just immediately just fell back down on a heap in the corner, and I couldn't continue. I mean, I've played hockey for more than 10 years in my life. I've gone through the ringer of a lot of different like physical pain.
Yeah.
And just knowing that like, oh shit, I can't stand up right now. I can't keep going. And it was just like, it was just the biggest disappointment that I had felt in a long time, because I am definitely my own harshest critic, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But I like to be dependable and just leaned upon when my moment is there. And it was shitty, to say the least.
Well, good news is you've had more reps than most have in their first year already. So it's not like you're going to be terribly behind. Yeah. What's the prognosis on this guy?
So it looks like it's a grade 2 sprain, so nothing's broken. X-rays aren't taken for ankle sprains, but I've been in a boot for exactly a week. I got it last Tuesday.
I was gonna say you're looking more mobile than when I saw you last Thursday. So
definitely, yeah. I've always been able to put weight on it, at least just standing up. So I knew, like, in the moment, like, I walked out under my own power, which was probably really, really dumb in the time. But I had to tell myself, or at least figure out, like, is this that bad that I need to go to the hospital or seek, like, further diagnosis. But the swelling had gone down significantly in the first 48 hours. Good. It was bruised. It wasn't like bruised the whole way on top of the foot, but basically like the whole way around the side to my Achilles to the other side. But today the bruising is going away. I've just been doing my best to take care of it and rehab it, because I want to come back. I want to come back stronger, and I just hate being on the shelf.
I was just poking at something here for the break, and I love the timing here, because we had you on tonight, and I just happened to have scheduled your tag team match against the Creeps.
Yes,
released today. If people want to check that out on the YouTube page. No. So again, you guys have great energy out there. A lot of good stuff going on. What was the what's the most interesting thing you've been a part of? I want to just say interesting, because I know how the shows go. There or somewhere else, because I know you've been around to a few different of the area. Already, you've already been interstate. Damn it. So some people it takes them 5 years to do that. But yeah, like, what's the most interesting thing you've run into here in your short career? Yeah, not even like 5 full months into this thing.
Without a doubt, it's the Donnybrook on Dottie Block. It was the 4-on-4 tag team elimination match, the Steel City Killers versus the 27 Club.
Okay.
So that was just wild. My first foray into like a street fight, no rules sort of deal, and just like, I mean, the first 15-20 minutes of the match, no one was in the ring. We're entirely in the outside, like just the floor space in the front of the ring where the audience is, and like just chaos. There's 8 of us out there. Someone's grabbing someone. Something's getting thrown at you. You're getting a chair sabooed at you. Like, I had a garbage can thrown at me that had beer bottles in it. And just like, what the shit is that? Like, I heard the bottles crashing. I'm like, no, I need away from this right now. Like,
Really, this is not for me.
Oh, man. It wasn't on my bingo card. Like, that, when I woke up that morning, I was like, you know what? I might have a trash can full of broken glass thrown at my head today. That sounds like a wonderful decision.
Welcome to pro wrestling, though. Right?
Talk about jumping in like into the deep end head first. Like, that was, I learned a lot, but it was a blast.
Fantastic. So, awesome. So you guys are again. You'll see a pop up here sooner or later, hopefully in a few weeks. Thursday nights. It's Thursday night fights, 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, live on all the Twitch and the YouTubes and the network. And I think there's Family Ties is going to be next Friday. I think there's even a show Saturday. I'm not attached to it, but I don't know. I saw a flyer. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just like I can't keep up.
There's always something going on. Always. Like, so it, just like I said last Thursday, if there's wrestling in the building Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're there. Yes. And it's just so cool. We
do the calendar, of course, at PittsburghWrestling.com. And I'm trying to keep up with all the dates and then a bunch of them are at 880 these days. So as I try to keep up with them, you guys can too over there. And I will give a shout out for I forgot this feature was there, but you can actually subscribe to the calendar at PittsburghWrestling.com. Much like I know I subscribe to the calendar for New Japan Wrestling, so I always know when those dates pop up, which has become even more handy these days. But yeah. So even for me, I sent all the videographers to be like, here, so you know what's going on in Pittsburgh wrestling, and also a show that you may have to work because half of these we work with. So that's a handy thing, and I recommend any of those. And I'll be honest, I sold a concept from SoCal Uncensored.com, I think is the site, because they have a nice wrestling map for Southern California that I would use when I go out to LA looking for a wrestling show. So. But no, go check that out. Check out where's T2T? They have a Facebook page, I know.
Instagram.
And Instagram as well, if you want to see what's going on. You see a lot of the training going on in there. So it's not a barn with no central air or anything like that. Like I was actually shocked when we were like cold, like too hot on a cold day.
Yep.
Because I did not think that place was going to have air conditioning and heat and everything like that. So so I was really excited that's the case, because some of the venues we work at is just
I'm sure
good freaking luck. But so anyways, where can people find you online?
Instagram at KCWarrPGH.
There you go.
That's the only place right now.
There you go. That's why I'm like, oh man, where do I tag him at? And of course, tune in every Thursday nights, and you can look up a lot of KC Warr matches on the YouTube right now, so you can see what's going on there. Excellent. So, and also check out our friends at SliceOnBroadway.com, especially if you're in the Pittsburgh area. New York City style yins are made. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and the North Hills, as well as Southwest Side Works, feeding our guests here this evening. So thank you so much for those guys for supporting the show. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about, I don't know, there's a world championship or something happening, I think, in some country called, I don't know, there's a lot of sand. I don't know. We're going
to talk about Captain America.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Diversion.
Oh,
We'll be right back in a few moments as soon as I load these first couple of videos here. My Captain America. When's that coming out?
Oh, not for a while.
It's filming right now.
Someone's filming.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your.
Someone's freaking filming. Movie's called Captain America Takeover, right?
Close enough. We'll be right back. Here's a couple clips from West Virginia after this.
The Shadow Man Elijah, and of course, Project X. Most dangerous individuals I've seen in RWA in a long, long time. Project Society are about to have their hands full with these two legends. We have not seen Brandon K in an RWA ring since 2011. Right where he wants to maybe fly a body press in the beauty. Here comes Dean. Takes him out, and oh my goodness, has him up.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
See?
Kick by Shadow Man to dig. Down, and here comes Elijah. Train kept her rolling. Picks him up, and oh my God. Has the DDT. Death Valley.
Ridiculous.
How is it ridiculous?
Project X was robbed.
And you ended up on your ass because you're nothing more than a goddamn loser.
Oh boy. Oh God. All the credit in the world to Project X and Elijah.
From deepest, darkest Africa.
I don't know a lot about Papa Dingo, and Papa Dingo doesn't know a lot about personal space. You heard the eruption. Absolutely beloved. How often do you see a local legend?
And we're going to start things out on the floor here. Very dangerous here. And Beastman, oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God, oh Jesus!
The distinct yellow, don't do this. He alley-ooped the table! Well, they were on the outside. At least now we're in a place that this match can end. This is how you get an earthquake.
Oh my God! Oh wait. Papa Dingo with a lick to beat.
They fought. and they liked it.
Oh my God.
I feel like he just licked me.
Four-time ECW heavyweight champion, a man who revolutionized the professional wrestling business.
It was an obvious choice that had to go to Damian Chambers.
Again.
This is a match that is athleticism versus experience. If I had you in my back pocket 20 years ago, if I was maybe taken off guard by Damian Chambers.
Talk about ego. Ooh. But Douglas, ooh.
I'm not going to touch that one. Freaks and weirdos here in McMecken, West Virginia.
Douglas going low, and again, Shane Douglas staying right on top of Damian here in the corner.
Knows that.
Chambers with a big running forearm.
Of the franchise, Shane Douglas ripcord.
On our official. Douglas, Chambers ducks a shot. Douglas is shocked. I'm shocked.
Hey, wait a second.
Madman Fulton.
He's not scheduled to be here today.
We are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We were here with baby wrestler. We always call them, like, every time we see the guys we know back in the day, like the babies, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We see Walking Wild back as Shima Zion, like baby Shima. Thank you. Baby Wardlow, baby Britt, that's our term of love. So when you're on fucking AEW or whatever replaces it.
Man, I'm shocked I made it this far. Like anything past 880 is just a fucking bonus.
Yeah,
like it's unreal.
It's good attitude. Just keep looking for the next thing. That's the biggest thing.
Always.
Keep for the next thing, and eventually get the fuck out of town. Get the fuck out of here. I want to say this for anybody, and I say this not just for us. Anybody in the fucking entertainment industry. Get the fuck out of your city. Unless you already live in... Actually, get the fuck out of L.A. if you grew up there, too. You probably want to see a different way people do things. But anyways, that's my uninformed opinion. I mean... no, well, partially informed, I guess. So, anyways. What are we talking about? Oh, the something comic book movie.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is going to be in a Captain America movie.
Oh, we're not going to talk about how I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 times last week?
Hell yeah.
Sure, we can talk about that, too. Batista's in that.
Batista is that. I'm going to do this coming back around. So
Wrestling adjacent. Here we
go. There you go. Actually, we'll leave that for Patreon because you've watched it by now, right, Matt? My Mike? Right?
I saw it opening night, sort of.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah, and I had a thing, so we didn't do it last week. Yeah, we'll have a Patreon this week, guys. Anyways, Seth Rollins, big announcement. Which is, I kick at the mic because I know he's going to do the announcement in that voice.
No, I'm not going to do the announcement in the voice. Seth Rollins he's in the new Captain America movie. He's playing a member of the Serpent Society.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So that's going to be exciting.
Then I had to look up who the Serpent Society was.
Oh, Stork. How do you not know?
I don't know. I don't read Captain America that much.
They're on Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Okay.
They're all over the place.
I'm pretty sure I
basically
watched it.
any like I'm honestly surprised this didn't go to Randy Orton because they're all just snake themed enemies. Just
But the
all
voice.
Yeah, the voice alone. I mean, could you imagine Seth Rollins as Cobra Commander?
I was just hearing Joker. Like I was hearing Nicholson's Joker in my head with that laugh. Like, oh,
You know what I'm looking forward to the most about this? I hope Seth is able to stop a shield being thrown at him.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
all right. Yeah, I see you. I see you.
no.
So you thought you believed in the shield?
Related
just something for the wrestling fans.
related to call-outs that you want in geekery. I noticed you did respond on Twitter because John Cena said the thing.
He said the thing.
What is that thing?
He said the thing. He said, fasten your seatbelts. He said the fucking thing. And
Mike,
it's about goddamn time.
Mike has insisted that this is what they call the movie for the last year.
Really?
Yes.
And how he is disappointed if nobody does in the year before it comes out. And John Cena fucking delivered, apparently.
You know, he still won't follow me on Twitter, but I still, God bless that man.
Does he follow
We
me?
can't see him, but we can hear his ass very clearly.
Oh, man.
And I will say this. Now that John Cena has said it, when Fast 10 Year Seatbelts comes to streaming, I'm going to watch all of these movies.
Oh, jeez.
I have not seen a one since the first one.
Oh, my God.
You're in for a ride,
Oh.
family.
You're good. Yes.
Before I do this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have a ceremonial Viking funeral for physics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And plot logic.
I'm not concerned about plot logic.
No,
Only plot logic
then you're
I'm concerned
perfect for these movies.
But no, physics bothers me a little bit though, because I fashion myself a scientist. But
there's the degree you did not take down from the wall yet, because that's
nope, haven't taken it down yet.
No,
The
right
degree,
there.
Still up there.
Yep, there you go.
Masters in professional wrestling.
That's
I'm going to put it in a better spot when I move that I can point to
Put
it
it-
a lot easier.
put it somewhere we can read it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can read it. You know what it is. The pink part is for pro wrestling.
Yes, the pink cover up part is. Anyways, that's why he talks about ratings all the time. Mike is a numbers guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I'm like, why are you so obsessed? He's like, he's literally a professional mathematician.
I'm a chemical engineer by trade,
Yes.
not by practice.
Not by practice, by training.
To put it in the comic vernacular, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Anyways, Pete Venkman, moving on.
No, Pete Venkman. Norman fucking Osborn, Sorg.
Okay.
Come on. Now, if I said back off, man, I'm a scientist, that's Pete Venkman.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Jesus.
crossed my geekery. I will drink more
Yes.
coffee to freshen up a little bit.
What the hell?
They're gonna revoke your geek card in a moment if you get another reference wrong.
I am 42 years old, sitting in a studio at 11:30 at night, talking about professional wrestling on the internet.
Yeah.
I think I am the geek card.
Hand delivered by Kevin Smith himself, surely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Man. Where were we at with this? Fasten your seatbelts, John Cena.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Yes.
I love it.
You're gonna watch
he even
that.
say I'm raw. He even he not only tweeted it, he said it on fucking
Did he?
raw.
Oh, I was skipping those parts.
Oh yeah, no. In the promotional materials, right before we cut back, he's like, "Fasten your seatbelts." I'm like, he said the thing. He said it out loud. I was very happy.
Yeah, no, I skipped those when I watched back Raw because I'm like, I'm gonna watch this next week anyway.
I'm surprised you even got them on the Hulu cut.
No, I didn't watch the Hulu cut. No.
Okay.
I wasn't traveling,
Okay.
so I
okay.
watched the DVR.
Okay.
So I did see the women's match that Hulu forgot.
By the way, I will say, fuck you, Raw. Do better. One women's squash match does not a division make.
True. I did not consider that.
I get on AEW a lot, but last night was atrocious. Last night was atrocious.
You have 3 hours, WWE.
Yep.
Come on.
NXT, you're doing a great job. Bang up job is all.
You know, I had a conversation with a very sound podcaster, Jim Ellermeyer of Fish and Outbait, about how I need some rest time, and he says you're only going to do it when you make time for it. WWE, you're only going to have a women's division when you decide to make time for it, and God, you have time.
Yeah, I will say the segments they had on Raw were quite good for the women's division.
Sure.
They were very good. We need more than that.
But a 30-second backstage with Candice and whoever else was in that I literally forgot the rest of it, that does not stick in somebody's memory to carry over for some random match you're going to throw out there next week. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's just them in their silo of things, but like, what TV is this? You know what I mean? Like who is catching that? And then happens to tune in at the right time on Raw the next week to be able to see where that led into, right? You know, there's a reason those things don't make the Hulu cut, because they know it's not worth anything. It's like the Hulu cut is WWE admitting a quarter of this show is absolute bullshit to fill time, and you don't need it. So, I mean, that kind of screams that to me. But they were doing something somewhat interesting this week with the World Championship tournament. Okay. Nothing to...
Yeah. Oh, and Tia said before we jump off, she said, speaking of the women's division, it's been a year full since Trinity and Mercedes left WWE.
And aren't they doing great right now?
They're doing fantastic.
So, yep. Looking forward to seeing...
Tina's asking if we think a gap or hole has been filled since their absence. Hell no. Absolutely the fuck not.
You know what I never imagined that it's going to happen this weekend? Being at a show with Sasha Banks on it. Yeah, that's going to be incredible. Anyways.
Say hi to Ryu if he's there.
What?
Say hi to Ryu if he's there.
Who's Ryu?
Her dog.
Oh, if she brings a dog, that'd be amazing. If I see the dog, I'm going to mark out and text you immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Anyways, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the World Championship. But I want to point out one point. I'm watching SmackDown after the fact. I do wait for the Hulu on that one usually if I'm not in a hurry for something. But I saw a sequence from the Edge Mysterio AJ match. Holy shit, that's a 3-way. Have you seen this, Casey?
No, it's on my list to watch this week.
There is like the one segment just every move leads into the third person.
Oh shit.
Like almost the entire match, all three people were involved. It is this move, a reversal into a 619, into this, into this, into this. It was
you can tell that's a match with 3 20-plus year guys.
Yes, because they're the only ones that can
still go.
They're the only ones that can pull off something like that, I think.
Yeah.
And that all for the most part know each other, right? Like they've all had matches.
Well, Edge and
with each
Mysterio
other.
have been tag teams.
Yeah. Like they've been tag teams. Like they've been tag teams and opponents and everything. I mean, God, we saw Edge and Mysterio at Royal Rumble when Cena came back that one time, right, Mike? In like what 7, 8 or something.
I saw Edge and Mysterio back in 2002.
AJ's the newbie here, right? And they both have had
Unreal.
classic feuds with them since in the last several years. So like,
absolutely.
It is like, again, you saw in the other 3-way on Friday was fine, but nothing could touch that. So that's a tape study for sure.
Yeah. So like
Tina says she mentioned it last week, but everyone in the tournament was over 35. Theory was the youngest one.
Yes, absolutely.
Which that's a way to go, I guess. I would have preferred another way. Like, the fact that LA Knight wasn't in this is a little criminal.
You mean like everybody's in their 20s, like over at AEW right now?
No, everyone's not in their 20s.
I thought they were. The ones,
No.
the Pillars. The Pillars.
the Fountain of Youth.
Oh. All right.
The Fountain of Youth? Is that what you need? We need to refresh Edge back to the good old days,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
kind of thing. I mean, that's always the thing. If I knew now with the abilities I had then,
Exactly.
that would be the best wrestler, right?
Exactly.
Like if 40-some-year-old ongoing wrestler had the physical prowess of 25, would be astonishing.
It would just break everything.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
just, everyone's mind's blown. Like just to have that ability would be insane.
Absolutely.
Darby Allin's the oldest one out of the four of them. But like honestly, all right, we didn't talk about this before. I hate the build.
To
I hate
the
the build
Pillars or the World
Yeah,
Championship?
to the Pillars match.
I'm not crazy about it either. I'll be honest. Although
The
I'm
Pillars-
sorry. The couple weeks of friends Sammy and MJF were
It's
pretty,
gold.
were fucking good.
Yeah,
It's so
that
fun.
was gold.
Absolutely, and you can do that with the match already announced.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to hold a bullshit tournament that everyone knows is not going to amount to anything.
Well, okay. Well, you still gotta fill TV, bro. You know, you still gotta.
Oh, you still gotta fill TV, bro. Guess what? There are other ways to fill TV. They have so many people.
Okay,
They
but then
have
wait.
so
So
many
how are you
people.
gonna stretch 2 months of this thing into a championship? Hey, we announced the match 2 months ago, and we're just gonna bullshit every week.
Do you just have the Pillars building the ranks?
Yeah.
Just like keep
Or-
going, moving
or
up so
you
it's the top
have-
4?
Or you have, how about this? You have a mini tournament. Whoever gets the most wins over that many weeks gets to pick a stipulation for the match.
So okay, that's another
Took me
way.
2 seconds to figure that out. What?
Okay. All right. Or
Make it interesting. Do something.
make it interesting. Make it that wasn't interesting?
No, it wasn't, because I knew as soon as they put a tournament bracket with 3 people, which is not a fucking tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The whole
then,
buy thing
like-
was weak.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Okay.
A 3-person tournament is not a fucking tournament.
Yeah. We're getting really loosey with the tournament rules on both promotions these days.
Yeah.
But hey, they got to figure things out. You know. I mean.
But
Yeah.
like what you do is you have like, because MJF doesn't want to be in the 4-way match, if he wants to make it a fatal 4-way match with just straight rules, he's got to win matches.
Mm-hmm.
If Darby Allin wants to make it a no DQ House of Fun match, whatever, like skateboard barbed wire match, he's got to win matches.
why
Like,
add a
and then you have people
stipulation?
interfering in each other's matches.
Why add a
You can make-
stipulation when it's already a 4-way?
It turns into like how MJF's built every other match. Like he had all the stipulations with Jericho when they had theirs, and then what was the
Yeah.
one he did after that? It's essentially the same formula.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, Jericho's done that a couple times too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like it's so that's why I think your stipulation thing kind of falls apart, because it turns into that kind of thing. But also, like, I don't think the match needs more. You know,
I think it does, because they haven't built Jack Perry very well.
well, that's Jack Perry. That's a Jack Perry problem, I think.
Okay, and they haven't built Darby Allin very well.
I disagree.
No, they have not recently.
Darby.
Not before this. Not
Darby
before
has
this.
his
I'm saying
fans.
if you took all 3 of these other pillars 6 months ago
Mhm.
and had this match, they
Mhm.
were all on fire.
I
They
think
all cooled off.
yes, but I think, but generally, I think Darby, I think Darby's more over than you give him credit for.
I'm not saying over. I'm saying he had no momentum. He was doing nothing. Like, this whole thing came out of absolutely fucking nowhere.
aside from Jungle Boy,
Darby was certainly perfectly fine in random trios matches with Sting and someone else.
Okay, Casey.
Like, this
Oh.
whole Pillars thing came out of nowhere. Sorry.
It's right, Casey.
no, aside from Jungle Boy, were Darby and Sammy booked on the last pay-per-view? I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Yeah.
And apart from Jungle Boy, who had mentioned, where credits due, that he wanted to win a singles championship,
Mm-hmm.
Sammy had never really expressed that intention, because he's been part of the JAS, and usually everything defaults to Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
And Darby has never expressed interest in that title, like not since losing the TNT championship.
So, wait a minute. You might be right in something, onto something here, because one of the stories that, and I can't remember if this is a reputable source, supposedly the tickets are not doing well for Double or Nothing for in Las Vegas. So like to the point where like, yeah, we might have sold 100 tickets in the last like month kind of thing. So I'm curious to see what that kind of turns into. Especially I think T-Mobile Arena would be bigger than the MGM Grand, I believe. So like they were taking a bigger swing there because they're usually at the Grand, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I am curious to see what that looks like there. But so and that could, and I agree. Like this match is not as hot as Daniel Bryan and MJF.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Does anyone actually think anyone but MJF is winning that match?
Oh, I think MJF's not. Yeah, I think MJF.
There's no suspension of
It's a
disbelief at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's no suspension of disbelief at all. Like,
Did you really think Daniel Bryan was gonna beat him?
Man, I wanted him to.
Yeah,
but
you
I mean,
wanted him
his
to.
first defense,
I
he wasn't
believe
gonna
that
lose.
more than I believe any of the three other pillars.
Okay.
I believe because you can pull the plug on a Daniel Bryan at any point.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan is credible enough where he can win the title at any point. The other three, like, it doesn't seem credible at all.
Jungle Boy had the casket match win with Christian at Revolution.
Yeah,
is being mentioned here.
Yep.
Darby has his niche. Junior loves Darby, says Tina.
Oh, I'm not saying each guy doesn't have their niche of fans.
And I think they're just rolling.
I'm saying
with
they
the
had
fans,
zero
so.
like story thrust.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was nothing. It's not even like MJF was tearing them down week by week. Like he was saying that he's the only true pillar or something like that. That's what he should have done. If he was doing something like that each and every week.
I think in the end, what you're going to end up happening, I think honestly, I think your top match may be Elite and BCC at that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like I think this is set up to be a secondary match.
And that sucks for the world title.
It sucks for the world title, but sometimes like
it happens.
Sometimes you do that. Hey, last time
Like,
we were at Wembley, you know.
Now I'm gonna say this. MJF's reign hasn't been very good.
I mean, the guy doesn't wrestle.
No, but like that's the thing. But there are ways to do a reign that's not very good if the guy doesn't wrestle.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure.
Like look at Roman.
Yep.
I mean, you can't deny him and Bryan though.
It was amazing.
That was like
the match was great. The build was terrible.
Now that I will still disagree. We talked about that then. I don't want to rehash, but I disagree with you on that because I love the ride. I love the ride on that. I love the matches we got going into it. I thought were very, very good, very, very entertaining.
Yep.
You knew where we were going, but you can still enjoy the ride. That's what I think is important here. You know they're going to beat the bad guy at Guardians, but you want to see how we get there, right? You know that's that kind of storytelling. You know, if you enjoy the ride,
it's not the same kind of storytelling.
I mean, it's not the same kind of storytelling.
It's not.
And not all of us know the ending that watch. I mean, maybe us do because we watch too much fucking wrestling. But the Darby fan completely is going... The junior Darby fan is completely going into this looking for Darby to win the title. And man, I hope he wins the title. Man, I want him to win the title. I think he can win the title. You know? That's who they're talking to. Not the over-jaded wrestling fan. I can see this a mile away.
I think there's still like a key
But
piece.
AEW fans are the overjaded wrestling fans.
They're the ones that think they know everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Casey.
I think there's like a key piece that we're missing because like it's still very straightforward to vanilla. Like there's got to be a swerve somewhere. There's going to be some sort of stipulation. It's not going to be just a straight up 4-way match. Like there's no way they go into this pay-per-view having it be just that. The word is leaving me right now, but like there's just so much more room for opportunity there for the match to grow and just build more. Like I think that's what's missing. Like there's that piece that's just missing.
I know exactly what you need. Special referee Tony Kahn. That's it. Mike Tyson.
No, special
Tyson,
referee
yes.
CM Punk.
There we go. Yeah.
Yay!
We have the announcement tomorrow.
Oh.
CM Punk special referee.
Oh my!
That would be sick.
Oh, all right. Here on May 16th at 11:38 Eastern Time. There's the watch. That's holding the newspaper up right there. Wait, I got to put the camera on me to make that work. There you go. That's your time check right there. He made the call. Is Casey Warr the winner of the call? He may be on the mend, but he's still calling wrestling. He's still calling it in the
This
fucking
still
ring.
works. It still works.
There you go. If that's the call tomorrow, Like Casey Warr is the greatest mind in wrestling podcasting. That's it. That's your new moniker.
It's a hell of a debut.
I want to make sure he Marco, the announcer.
Yes.
I want to make sure Marco announces you as that on your comeback.
Yes. Okay.
If this goes down tomorrow, so.
And it'll be on commentary on Thursday, probably.
Oh,
too.
you'll be on commentary.
Yeah.
Make sure you name drop Mayhem Show.
Oh yeah.
I'll be listening from Michigan. So. Anyways, holy shit. Oh, this is fun. We do have a pay-per-view. I guess we have a week, so we'll talk about it next week. I'll be driving to Erie while the pay-per-view's happening.
Wait,
so
what pay-per-view's in a week?
Night of Champions is not this
2
weekend, but
weeks.
next weekend, right?
2 weeks, I think.
In 2 weekends, so we'll be talking about next
Oh,
week
yeah,
on the show.
okay, yeah.
Is it also Memorial Day weekend?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Yeah, Memorial Day.
Everything-
There's Battleground, there's Night of Champions, and there's Double or Nothing.
Wow.
Night of Champions, and there's something else happening. Okay, there's everything else happening, but and VCW Memorial Mayhem free show in McMecken, PA, or at West Virginia. McMecken, West Virginia. Let me get that clean. On Memorial Day, so 1 p.m. Are you there?
I was supposed to be. But
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think we're setting a video camera. I'm pretty sure we're setting a video camera. So at least one camera. So we'll see what happens. Last year's big guy, they ended up in a pool. So
Yes.
and then the pool closed. So I don't know what that says.
Oh.
So
I heard a lot about that pool spot. Like you know better than to go anywhere near a body of water when you're wearing your gear. And like
I forget who it was. Walker was like, I ain't getting my boots in that water, but everybody else went in.
It was probably Noir.
No, Noir went in.
Oh,
Noir went in. I think it was Zeke that was like,
oh yeah,
he's like, brother, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You
I had both of them telling me about it that day.
That Zeke was like, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yes. And by the way, this is a side note that came from the other day. We got to figure out what holiday we have Christian Noir and Cowpoke Paul on to have cranberry vodkas on the show. Because apparently that's a thing, and we'll probably have to clean up after it. So he's not being emphatic.
Someone's gonna be sleeping on this couch.
I think Joe. Yeah.
How about Flag Day?
Flag Day. All right, that's why. Everybody, somebody tweet them and say, let them know Flag Day is going down. Anything else WWE before we move on here? I think we're about ready for what we learned.
I can't really think of anything else too nuts about WWE.
Are you excited about Seth Rollins and AJ Styles?
Sure.
It'll be a fantastic match.
Killer.
Oh yeah, it'll be a great match. I mean, this is Seth's winning the belt. Let's not.
I know. You can listen, man. Did you?
Oh, actually, one thing we should mention: Sammy and KO are going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Yep.
For the first time.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
That's going to be interesting.
Well, there's been a shift in why that's happening. I understand.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's
still going to be fascinating.
I think Sammy wouldn't go because of the Syria and Saudi Arabia relationship.
Yeah.
What's going on between them? I understand that has changed. So that's why Sammy is no longer protesting and staying home.
It's going to be interesting because either Solo has to get pinned, Roman has to get pinned, or we're looking at Roman 4 belts.
What could happen? What could happen? Would they do it?
Would
they do it?
One of my buddies at work said I just want Roman to win the tag titles and then Roman to go on to challenge the winner of the World Heavyweight Championship, and you just get Roman 5 belts.
Oh, jeez, he's gonna look like the fucking Ultimo Dragon at this point, right? I mean,
belt collector of just WWE.
Yeah, they're gonna be like all the local talent that they hire every show is just gonna be belt carriers, right? It's gonna be like Mike. You remember when the Gambinos had the tag belts and Chest Flexor and Pump Ferrari were just like in suits polishing the belts, right? Like it's gonna be like that, but there's like gonna be like. It's going to be like
and some guy named Dr. Gambino. I think he helped. He was a belt polisher.
Was he a belt polisher? I think he wanted to be a belt polisher. Like his goal was to be a belt polisher.
Okay, he was an aspiring belt polisher.
Yes. So I don't know. Apparently everybody's a Gambino this day. I don't even know anymore. So, but anywho, yeah. So that'll be interesting. God, there's so much wrestling. I watched Impact for the first time. I got through like half an episode, so that's good.
Oh, how was that?
I mean, it was good. Oh, Dirty Dango and Joe Hendry.
Oh okay. yeah.
Holy crap! And them grilling Trey Miguel. I don't even know what they're grilling him for at this point. There's some references to Tyler Breeze in there.
Of course there are.
It's some fun stuff. So definitely, Joe. I'm so happy Joe Hendry's on a bigger platform because he was a delight when I saw him at Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Just put that out. That is the thing to seek out on Impact Wrestling. So, Elite versus BCC, Anarchy in the Arena. Man, I feel like we've done that before.
And honestly, the Anarchy in the Arena, I didn't like it.
It's so sloppy. There's too much, especially with that many
people.
It was
way too much. Yeah.
Yeah. I
like just do blood and guts at that point.
Yeah, I don't think
if you're gonna do it, do blood and guts.
And we just had a Detroit show, so we're not doing blood and guts there. So, everything will shape up this. Well, most of that card is going to shape up this week. That's usually how they run.
You would hope.
Yeah. So we'll see what's happening. We got big announcements. We'll see. We'll have a big announcement, and we'll see if Tony Kahn will blink. What's the over/under on that? I went and got drinks during the Pittsburgh show, and somebody was messaging me. I think Rob was messaging me. He was like, because Tony comes on and says hi to everybody before the show, right, between the tapings, and he was like, I think Tony's especially cooked up tonight, guys. I like to think that he
hasn't blinked for the first 3 ad breaks of the show. Send help.
Which means my read is wrong, because now on several occasions I've run into people that have been very, very excited around wrestling, and later find out that they were on cocaine, and I was like, I need to assess my personal biases here, and work on that. So I don't know if I work around a lot of really excited people, or there's a lot of cocaine around me and I don't know it. Like that's the thing I need to learn.
Dutters has been mainlining coke for the past 30 years.
I think her head was. I couldn't even imagine.
No, I can barely imagine Dutters on coffee, let alone coke. Yeah.
You haven't seen Dutters after a gathering of the Juggalos. That was madness too.
Oh god.
You just that was. What are you doing in the parking? Oh god. Anyways, shit. And I'm going on our trip with her this weekend, so it's okay. Michigan's completely safe. Guys, what did you learn from wrestling this week? Let's move this the fuck on, because I got to talk about Guardians with Mike for probably another hour. And I'm going to talk about my problems with the booking of Guardians 3. Mike, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
Not enough women's matches?
Not enough women's matches in Guardians 3, yeah.
What did I learn this week?
Not enough sisterly dialogue. Truth?
Very, very true. Shit, what did I learn this week? I learned that Dominic had very happy Mommy's Day.
Oh, jeez, Mommy's Day. Casey Warr, what'd you learn from wrestling recently?
No matter how well versed of a vet you are, doing ring crew and taking off the turnbuckles and the ropes takes a really long time.
Oh yeah.
Just watching Mox just spin it for however many minutes, and Kenny coming back and just like trying to figure out what's going on and forcing the turnbuckle out of the post.
I think I need to rewatch the match, because I definitely took a gummy earlier that night, and I think I slept through that part of it. I woke up and the cage was like detached. I'm like, what the fuck happened here? But yeah, I definitely need to go back for that one. Wow. From the chat room, Tina says, what I've learned, indie joint show announcements are amazing to hear. With your powers combined, there's a lot of laughy cry faces. Podner earlier said, I learned that librarians are the best judges of butts.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Emily Fear's Twitter she tagged. Yeah, that was some...
It's accurate.
What is... and I will say this, and by the way, this is the context of Emily Fear. I am not saying this as a Sorgatron. But where to go? I'm doing the hard investigative work, she says. Bailey got the whole library. There's a whole butt review tonight. What is happening? Mm-hmm. Let's see. That's a whole bookshelf back there for Rhea. Wow, what is happening? This is amazing.
Is this Tina Belcher's Twitter feed?
Who?
Tina Belcher of Bob's Burgers.
Of Bob's Burgers. I need to watch that show. I'm about to slam that show whenever I have, anytime. GCW Defy announced for November. And I know in Toronto, Defy and like 3 other companies are having joint shows together that afternoon, I think. So that's crazy. I love that, like, every big event is like an indie wrestling showcase around it, right?
Yeah.
Like Forbidden Door had Warrior across the street last year, and it's got these shows up in Toronto. You know, I'm waiting to hear what SummerSlam announces, you know, to see what's going on there. And I'm going to be there, and I have no plans. Maybe I'll just watch shows this time. Maybe I'll get bled on. Who knows? It's Detroit. I'm probably going to get bled on if I'm not working. I've been to a horror slam. So yeah, no, it's freaking crazy. What did I learn from wrestling this week? What did I do in wrestling this week? I learned the best. I was reminded the best way, if you're getting jaded with professional wrestling, is to watch it with a child. My buddy Mason, I got to drop in late to the show at RWA because I had to go I went to dance recital back home up in Greenville. Trucked my ass down to RWA to catch the end of it and caught a promo in a match, apparently, just in time. But I felt bad because I came in and everybody wanted to say hi to me, like in the locker room. I was like, I'm going to go watch the show, guys. I'll see you in a few. Even though I'm not going to edit it later or anything, you know. But watching it with Mason's always really cool because he's very enthusiastic about it. And I think when we're all respect to everybody's opinions tonight, complaining about ratings and bookings and heat and build, you know, just remember
it's all for the kids.
Mason's got his Darby Allin figure, and he's going to be watching with excitement next Sunday. So, like, that's again, I think what it all boils down to right there, right? So, side note, picked up a cool Thunder Rosa figure while I was in Wisconsin at Target. So, got a lot of extra hands in there. I don't like you know, usually there's like the other head poses. It's just like hand poses going on with Thunder Rosa. So I was like, all right. So I sent a picture to Missy, and she's like, buy it. I'm like, okay, I'll get Mama Rosa, you know? All right, sure. Check out the RJ City Thunder Rosa from this week, too.
That was good.
It is very hilarious and slightly uncomfortable, so which means it's the perfect episode of AEW. KC Warr. Keep an eye on 8A Wrestling, T2T Pittsburgh Wrestling Academy, and probably a show near you at this rate as soon as he mends up.
Soon.
Very soon. Yes.
Very soon.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. Please come back any
Of
other
course.
time you're off training, hopefully for better reasons than this. So
We'll figure out who I have heat with, too.
Oh, right. We should do that on Patreon.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, we are going to do it because I forgot to ask during the thing.
Yeah.
Who does KC Warr have heat with?
Stay tuned for the KC Warr heat check.
Oh my God! Did we just do it on the show? Because I did tease that earlier.
We could say who it is and then save the story. For
All
the
right.
Patreon.
Who?
That works.
Who has heat with you?
Marilyn Manson
and
and his dad.
And his dad.
That's a part of the story that I left out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his dad, Marilyn Manson, and his dad. That is for Patreon. That's
Yeah.
a good tease.
Yeah.
That's a really good tease. I wish we did it on the show, but we're going to do it on Patreon here. Guys, thank you so much. Follow at Sorgatron on all social medias. Again, I will be at the Michigan Speedway this weekend. And through some kind of time travel, I will also be in Los Angeles for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Resurgence show. You won't see me in the crowd. That's all I'm going to say about that. So we'll see you out there. Hey, West Coast. Coming soon. Hopefully I can catch up with you, okay? If you're coming down to New Japan afterwards or something like that. So it's going to be a quick turnaround, and I'll be back here next Tuesday for the Wrestling Mayhem show. No hotel room Mayhem show next week. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Thank you to our guest, KC Warr. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.